Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified, the retro Dr. Mindbender. Now, I know it's been a while since any of us have had any type of G.I. Joe Classified. Well, the Dr. Mindbender and the Rock and Roll have hit the States. There are some other people like Shark Eyes that he's getting some of the other ones because he lives in Australia. But this is what we're going to focus on. And yes, we're going to take a look at this, see how the card looks, see how this figure looks, because not everyone was able to get them. But we're also going to compare them to the original Classified, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, maybe the Pulse exclusive, and the original O-ring. So let's take a look at this guy. And as I mentioned before, the card is it's large. It's a large card, but it is on nice card stock now. We get some pretty good artwork, unlike what we kind of see maybe coming out on some of the other ones. I'm hoping it'd be nice if they went back and fixed it, but I doubt they're going to. Here we can see the figure. We can see everything that he comes with, and he is meant to be really close to what was the original O-ring version. And then on the back, we have the very, very large file card in the 5L. Now again, this is not a G.I. Joe thing. This is a Hasbro thing. They do it with Transformers and stuff like that. Just gives you a little blurb about Dr. Mindbender, who he is. You see he's part of Cobra. And then we have the cross-sell of the of Mindbender, Rock and Roll, and the Retro Viper. Again, I'll say it once more. Put the file card down here, even the 5L, doesn't matter. Do the cross of all the retro cards that you've done. You don't have to do all of them, but just put a whole bunch in there. It doesn't matter if it happens to be, ones that came with the Hiss HasLab. Put them all in there. It just gives it a better look and a better feel. But we're going to take a look at this guy. Get him open. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've got to look. Got a brand new Classified. I did do the retro Flint, but that was sent to me. I didn't have the card back or nothing, but now we have this. So if you like this type, I guess before we get into this, if you like this type of content, you like when I give you the G.I. Joe Classified stuff, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified. All right, so here we have him out of his box, out of his plastic prison. I guess not really a box, it's a cardboard case, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, first off, we'll look at the accessories like I always like to do. And the first thing you're going to get is this stand. Again, I don't really need stands. You can see all these figures are standing without them. It has two pegs. It has the Cobra symbol. And then it actually has a place where they could put a plate with the actual name. If you're going to do that, just put their name on it. It's something a little more. Maybe people would find it, find these are better, then they could use it. I don't know. I don't really need it. It just goes in a bin with other stuff. All right. So it comes with pretty much the same accessories that, the Pulse exclusive did. I think it was a Pulse Con. If I'm wrong, tell me in the description. You guys love to correct me. So anyway, we're gonna take a look at everything. So we're gonna get his original cattle prod style weapon or whatever it is. Now, here is the original one that came with Dr. Mindbender. And you can tell that this one has more silver. This one is way more like metallic gray, I guess you kind of say. But the design is the exact same. So they're using the same mold, which is, I think we all knew they were going to. All right, and looking at it here, you just kind of got your little coils. It runs up to the front. You have a port for blast effects if need be. All right, just a little bit of design right there. And then you do have the little piece on the back so you can plug the hose into it. Now here's the original one that he came with. And when you look at it, you can tell it is pretty much a carbon copy. All right, all the way down to that little piece right there on the grip. Get the little coils right there. Has the same shape here in the front, and then even here, you can see the way that they notch it in. So, but then we're gonna get this little piece, and I guess this is the generator for it. Now this is completely different, but the same concept of what we got with the original one. A matter of fact, it looks like we could probably use this if you have extra, and I know I used to have extra. I think I actually got rid of all of mine. So this one here is the same as we got. All right, there is no different other than this looks more matte and this one is a little bit more shiny. All right, so looking at this here, you got the stem here that you're going to plug in the you're going to plug the hose in, and this piece actually will plug into his side so he can walk around with it. I guess that makes more sense than dragging this around, but I'm not sure you're going to be walking around with this. All right, just a little bit of design. And again, it does mimic this here. All right, it does mimic it, even though it is completely different. But you do get the same look on it, okay? Now, here is the hose. Again, we've got this numerous times and many different figures, obviously including him. And this thing is just going to plug directly into here. No problem there. And then we're going to plug it right here. And I had no issues with either one. And again, it has more than enough look for it. Or more than enough bend that you don't have to worry about it being an issue. Now, I don't have the hose for this. If you remember, the original O-ring hoses were just a little bit different. And then we have this piece here, and this is more like the a Tesla gun, I guess you could say, or you could maybe even plug in some of the vials. Remember, this one actually came with different vials. I don't know why you're plugging in a vial like that, but who knows? But again, same coils. It's painted with that same silver. It's got the grip, you got the trigger guard, and it runs to the back. And that is also going to plug in like so with no issues. All right. Now looking at the original here, it's the exact same look, other than that this is a, like I said, kind of like a gunmetal, where this is just pure silver. And I think this one gives you more of the feel of the original, as you can see when you look at that gray. But again, when this one came out, who knew what was going to happen? They didn't know how far the line was going to go down. Now I'm interested. I wonder, you can plug that in there. So if you wanted to have this type of generator, obviously you don't want it connected to another generator, you could plug this in here and use that as the generator for one of those. It's up to you. It's your decision. Again, they're your toys. All right. So what we have here is this little vial on the top here. And this is going to be what he uses to inject people. All right. Now, I don't think that comes out. I don't remember of this one. I can't remember. Because the vials come out of here, out of this. I thought the vial came out of here, but it definitely does not look like it. But once again, it is the exact same, other than it is silver compared to the wash they're using on this one. All right. All right, guys, don't start falling on me. And then we have the nice design. We got the grip right here. And this is what you're going to use. You need to have some sort of bed so you can obviously operate on them because this guy is a sadistic dude. All right, so that's that. And then we're going to get this gun. And this is the same gun that did come here. All right. So we get the same gun, other than this is a little bit more matte. This one has a little bit more of a sheen to it. All right, so you look at that. I do think it looks pretty good. This is a one-off. They have not used it on any other figure. It has a port for blast effects. The funny thing is, here is his original one. Now it's gray. So maybe it bothers you that it's not gray. Well, look at it. They're almost the exact same size. And so if you want to, you could get one of these and actually use it. This is the original Mindbender. You can use it in Mindbender's hand. Because even his finger fits in the trigger. And it fits absolutely perfect. And you can actually plug it into his holster. And it fits in the holster. So, if that's something that bothers you and you want to make him more retro, you can probably find this on eBay fairly cheap. Alright, so there you go. You can look at the design of it. It is the exact same design for the most part. How they should have just redone the mold and just made it so it had a round hole here, so you can have the blast, so you can put the blast effect in it. All right. So now, as for the figure, how much has really changed on this figure? I don't think a whole lot. All right, but quickly we'll take a look at everything that he has on him. Then we'll get into the articulation, and then we'll do some comparisons. All right. So once again, he has that evil mustache. He has his monocle, which is plugged in, and you can actually see right through. This guy's got some killer eyebrows, and he's got a lot of wrinkles. So either Cobra Commander gave him a lot of wrinkles, or he got a lot of wrinkles from being a dentist. Now, I do believe this thing actually, you can pull this out. I'm not going to. But a couple people have said that they've had it, and it's kind of dropped. They've dropped out. So just be careful. If that comes loose, you're going to lose it. But looking at that head, it looks real good. I don't see any seam over here. You got the ears that look real good. There's his mouth, his lips, everything looking really nice. He's got the bands running over his biceps. He's got the gauntlets. I always thought this looked somewhat like a deck of cards. He's got the regular gloves with the trigger fingers, and he's the exact same on this side. But look at that detail. Look, I got some paint right there, some silver paint on him. We all know that there's some issues with this one. I'm going to wonder if there's the same issues with paint rubbing off on this guy. So, got wonderful veins kind of just blasting through those biceps. You got his chest. And believe me, these types of striations are real. They are real. All right. Here we're going to take a look, and he has kind of the chastity belt. Nice design going all the way down here and right into his little cod piece. An actual drop-down holster with just this little bit of paint really makes it pop. And hit at the right angle, this almost looks like it's painted, but it's not. All right, so this is a holster here, and then it's going to wrap around here. You can see the belt buckle painted pretty nicely. No issues there, so they're getting really good with some of this paint. I can't complain too much. And on this one, you got the stripe running down. You can see the texture. All right, and then you're going to get the silver stripe at the top here, running all the way down, and then you get the nice boot buckle right there. And he's running. He has a small little heel, but I'll tell you what, it is the exact same design over here, so I don't have an issue with this figure standing. I won't have an issue with this figure standing. On the back, we get the Cobra logo, and this was a huge point of contention for a lot of people mad that the Cobra logo was not on this one. But looking at these two, this one has a more of a sheen to it, and now is this what really caused it to rub off? It's impossible to know. You can tell that this is a completely different make though. All right. One thing they're still missing is they should have a wire cape through it. For what we're paying for, and again, 25 isn't huge, but you got McFarlane putting wire capes through everything. There's no reason why they shouldn't. And I do believe, if I am correct, I believe that Star Wars Black Series does the same thing. But you can see the capes are completely different. So, and this has much more of a feel of the original. All right, this actually feels much thinner and cheaper, but it is done nicely. So you can kind of see the sheen on the outside, and on the, you know, how it is on the inside compared to this one that has a real nice glossy look to it, and on the inside it's just more like that. But what people kind of complain about is that was the original. You can see the way that it rubbed off. That was very bothersome to people. I was never going to notice it, but it is something that you think wouldn't happen or shouldn't happen. Where on this guy, I'm not seeing it. And before anyone says, well, you've had that one for a while, it didn't take very long. That thing rubbed off really, really quickly, all right? So as for the articulation here, you get the neck that moves down there, and then he can look up only that far. This is something I really wish they would fix, considering it is on a neck joint, and it's also on the head joint. All right, so it'd be nice if the head sat on a disc a little bit better, where he can look up, especially for snipers. They really need it. Side to side, kind of down, tilted. Now, they started putting more of a ratchet system in, which is really odd. I didn't notice it before. There's his T-pose. He has his bicep swivel, double pinless elbows, and then you're going to have your wrist at swivel. And no problems. He feels really smooth. You get your ab crunch, and this piece is going to move and flow with it. So he moves back and forth. Now, turning them side to side is something you're going to be careful with, because clearly you don't want to turn them too much and rip this off. Maybe some people don't care, but I definitely don't want to rip mine off. But hey, you play with your toys the way you want to play with your toys. As for his Jean-Claude Van Damme, this might get in the way a little bit, but not too much, so it's not bad. He has the drop down hips. They're going to pop right back in. He's going to have his thigh swivel. This figure does feel really smooth, to be honest. There is your double knee joint. Pinless. I mentioned this on the O-ring, the classic stuff. I love the long boots. I don't know why. It's just something that I always loved as a kid. Ankle rockers. Moves back and forth, and he's extremely smooth. And there is your peg. So you want to look here, and what you're going to see is made in Vietnam. So after all this fear of tariffs, guess what? This one's not even made in China. Where this guy was made in China. So now let's look at the difference and see what is different about him comparing these two. All right. So hopefully you'll be able to get a good look at it. I would say I think he's more of a realistic color. They both kind of have a sheen on the chest. All right. Looking here, I'd say this is more of a brighter purple, where this is more of a darker purple, more dulled out. And same with the silver. So this silver here on the original one falls more in line with the weapons, where this one is a silver more in the line of what he has now. His holster is the exact same. Both have the same belt buckle. The same paint apps on the buckles. Down here, you get the nice little silver around the boot, but going all the way down, it's the exact same boot. All right. Again, this one has more of a sheen to it. Everything on this guy has more of a sheen, including like the purple boots, the purple legs. All right. As for the monocles, everything looks the exact same. A matter of fact, the same head sculpts, but they definitely made it so the retro one has a much thicker beard. A much thicker mustache and way thicker eyebrows. Like, you can't even see that and not notice that those eyebrows are painted completely different. I would say the paint apps on this one are way better. But the whole cod piece and everything, it's all the same, except for this is painted more like in this gunmetal, where this one is more of a silver. And then we have the back here, which we talked about. The same, same issue. Different capes. I don't know why I'm saying same issue, but has the Cobra logo. Now comparing them to the O-ring, which is the whole purpose of this, right? You can look at those heads, and very similar. Again, thick eyebrows, thick mustache. I think this one actually fits the aesthetic more, although I do think this one looks amazing, so don't think. I have no issues with either one here. He does have the Ultimate Warrior bands going around his bicep, which he didn't have here. You get the same look at the pauldrons and the same black gloves. Here's your holster, all right, which is going to wrap around. And I haven't got the Dr. Mindbender yet, so I can't wait to get to him with the classic. But on the boots, we have this silver stripe. Now, they really should have done the silver down here because they were supposed to be retro. And look at this. It's actually in there. There's your belt buckle Why did they paint that also? That would have really set it off and gave it more of a retro feel. So, as you can see, not too much difference. If you already have this guy, I don't know if you really need this guy, but it's really up to you. If you're a completist like like I have tried to be, well, then you're gonna want it. So, this here, we're gonna pop this right on in there. And it does fit in there nice and tight. You don't have to worry about it. That's what she said. Right there is where this piece is going to plug onto. All right. And then we're going to take, well, we'll take this for right now. I'm going to throw this on here. And again, it is pliable enough that you don't really have to worry about it popping off. Now that might pop off, but once you get it on, okay, so I'm lying. I am 100% completely lying. All right, so that's going to go up like that. It's going to wrap down, and then you kind of do what you want. But let's say you're sitting here and you're going, well, why should I invest in the other one? What am I getting with this one other than the box? Well, you do get this hand and you get this piece, which if I am correct, this is the same vial or cylinder that comes with all the mass device stuff that everyone's getting right now, or Shark Eyes is actually getting right now. You get the brain that comes out here along with removable vials. And then you get the brain, which comes apart. But all in all, we told you guys you're going to be getting this. Not to worry if you missed out on this guy. They were definitely going to give us this. But there you go. That is the review. Let's wrap it up. All right, so there you go. That is your G.I. Joe Classified Retro Dr. Mindbender. For all the people that have stayed this long, and you are wondering why at the end was there that struggle, I got that itch in the back of my throat. But I was done. I like doing one cut. I don't like adding. So I was fighting through it. I mean, I was fighting as hard as I could. Anyway, here you go. You got the Cobra symbol. It does match the original. They put the silver on the boot, although they should have put the silver here. Again, before anyone says, wow, that's a lot of complaining, the fact of the matter is, you're doing a retro, you should do it as close as possible, and you already have the straps there. All right? It just would make sense, but either way, it doesn't matter. So, there you go. We told you guys, don't worry, these are main characters. You are going to get them. As long as the line continues, and the line has been growing and growing and growing, you're going to get stuff like this. So, they gave it to us. I don't know if you actually needed it. If you already have the exclusive, that's your call, or maybe you want to box that one up, package it up, and say, I'm going to wait for a rainy day and sell this when the time is right. Why don't you let me know? What did you do? Did you go with both of them? Did you only get this one? Did you have that one, but you're like, I want to put that one away and have this one to kind of mess around with? Or are you getting an extra one so you can do a custom of Dr. Mindslaughter? You're not, because that's my thing, but I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it yet. That's a whole other story. I'm going to ramble on, but I'm going to get out of here. You stayed this long, which I definitely do appreciate. Please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified. Now I'm going to get out of here, and it has been a long time since we've got to do any Classified, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with the Retro Flint right up here, and down here is going to be the playlist of all the G.I. Joe Classifieds that I reviewed. Take care.